Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds to 9 o'clock. With news, there are high-level calls for a land tax in Australia. But first, Wall Street is higher today as earnings by major companies come in ahead of market expectations. October data indicated an accelerated expansion in the American private sector business activity. An upturn was supported by the fastest rise in manufacturing production for 8 months, plus another strong increase in service sector output. A similar upturn is being reported for the Eurozone, where they're also seeing jobs being added at the strongest pace in over 10 years. In the US, their mortgage market is forecast to shrink in 2018 on a sharp drop in refinancing demand, but loan originations will pick back up somewhat in 2019. Total mortgage originations are expected to decline to $1.6 trillion next year, lower than the expected almost $1.7 trillion this year. Loan volumes will then recover to about $1.64 trillion in 2019. A 1,000-company survey of some of the world's largest shows their R&D spending rose by 3.2% in 2017, pushing it to an all-time high of $702 billion. The figure marked a resumption of meaningful growth in such investment following a flat results in 2016. It means that global private sector spending is now 2.7 times higher than it was in 1999, the first year of the survey. Overnight, China's Communist Party granted President Xi Jinping authority on a par with Chairman Mao, revising its constitution to include his political theory and pushing ahead with policies to make China a major world power. China is also set to extend the term of its leases on rural land by another 30 years. Leases serve as ownership for China's 590 million people in the countryside. Current leases are due to expire in 2027, adding another 20 years gives rural farmers an effective ownership until 2057. These farmers can sell their lease rights so long as the land stays in rural use. China is also keen for average holding sizes to expand to get better rural productivity. Global wine production is set to drop more than 8% from 2016, which will make it the lowest level in almost 60 years. Harsh weather in Europe was to blame for the dip, but production in the southern hemisphere is up. New Zealand produces 1.2% of the world's wine. All this points to firming prices for our output as demand is rising. In Australia, their Productivity Commission has called for their system of stamp duties on property transactions to be scrapped and to be replaced with a land tax. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield is now up at 2.41%, a 6-month high. The price of crude oil is marginally higher again today, now just under $52.50 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is just under $58 a barrel. And the price of gold is down. It's down $4 and now at $1,274 an ounce. And the Kiwi dollar is down sharply again today, reaching 19-month lows this morning at 68.9 US cents. On the cross rates, we're down as well, actually, at 88.6 Aussie cents and 58.6 Euro cents. Our TWI is now at 71.8. New Zealand currency is falling out of favour with investors. The TWI is now down 5% since the day before the election. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.